hear me out here, guys. So you guys know BenQ, the guys that makes monitors, right? They reached out to me and they said, hey Astro, we have this monitor light. We would like you to take a look at it. And first I was like, what? ScreenBars? What are those? And I've been using this for about a week now, and I must admit, I kind of get it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Astro coming to you from a boiling hot Denmark, so sorry if I look a little hot. But today we're going to take a look at the ScreenBar Halo from BenQ. As I said, BenQ, they reached out, they did send me to this for review. I'm going to keep the product here after the review is done. I'm not being paid for this review, no money has changed hands here. And BenQ has not had any say in the making of this video. This is completely my own thoughts, and I've gone through this on my own. I've been using this for the past week. To kind of get a feeling for it, and let me just get this thing out of the box. Hold on. This is what's in the box. First of all, you get, of course, the light itself. This sits on top of your monitor, and it's this light coming out of this when we plug it in a second. There's this control knob that you use to control the light, and apart from some manuals and quick start guides and stuff like that, there's a little plastic thing that if you have a curved monitor, so that you can sit it right on a curved monitor, and there's a little pad so that if it doesn't fit just right on your monitor, you can use that to like, yeah, it shows in the guide, but this is just like extra things to make it fit on your monitor. The two things that are interesting is the light and the control knob. Now the light itself here just has a cable on the back with a USB-A port at the other end. This is nice, and I'll tell you why. Because this thing doesn't need any data connection to your computer. It automatically syncs up to the control knob. That's it. And that means you can use, if you have like USB port on the back, on the side of your monitor, you can use those, and that is in fact how I have been using mine. No problem at all. But for demo today, I actually have out here off screen, I actually have a little phone charger. I'm just gonna plug that in like so. There we go. So now the thing is plugged in to the phone charger, and just so I can actually showcase this a little bit easier, what I want to do is I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna mount it on top of the box. There we go. So this is how it would sit on top of your screen, but for the demo here, we're just gonna use it on top here. The only thing you do is you put batteries in this, and that's it, that's the setup process. I cannot stress how nice it is to have a product in 2022 that does not require an app and that does not require a companion software on your PC. Oh my God, it was so easy. You like plug batteries in, plug this thing into a USB port, any USB port, and boom, you're gone. You're done. No syncing, pairing process, just plug in and go. That was so nice, such a nice user experience. But enough about that. Let me show you how this works and how to do. You like hover your hand to wake this thing up, and then we turn the light on by just tapping the middle of it. This is like a touch screen kind of thing. The edge of this rotates, and it is such a nice feel. Oh my God, it feels like it's weighted, and it just runs smoothly. There's no notches or anything. It just runs smoothly. It feels very, very, very nice. And as you can see right now, I've set this thing to control the intensity of the light bar. As you can see here, I have it all the way down, and we can turn it all the way up like so. I'm also able to swap over. Now I can control the color temperature. So now we have a very, very warm, yellow, reddish feel, very warm feel to it. I can turn it all the way the other way, and now we have a very hard blue light if you prefer that. My preferred settings were like something like semi-warm and then power all the way up. Talking about preferred settings, it has a favorite feature, and you can just wake this thing up again. There we go. And you can just hold the favorite thing, and if you hold it for a few seconds, all the things blink, and when you let go, you now favorite it. So if I went in and said, oh, I've changed the color temperature and I actually wanted to go back to my favorite, I quick tap the favorite, and boom, we're back to where we set it as our favorite. The bar here in the front does tilt, so you can adjust where the light goes. Now it also has auto brightness, so that it will have like an ambient light sensor in it, so you can see how much light is around it. It's going to turn it all the way down because I have two massive studio lights sitting here, so there's plenty of light flooding into the scene right now. So that's why it's turning it all the way down, but we can just jump it back to wake this thing up and jump this thing back into our favorite again, like so. That's actually not the only light that's built into it. Here on the back, you will see there is another light sitting back here. And if I tap this button here, there we go, it turns on. And what this does is it lights up the wall behind you, behind the monitor, so I should say, and give you like an ambient glow. And this really helps with eye strain. I found this to be very, very nice to kind of give a glow around your monitor, so you don't have that hard edge between often a dark wall behind your monitor and then the light from the monitor just blasting in your face. You get a more gradual like change from the bright monitor to the room around you, and it just helps reduce eye strain. Super nice. You can also, if you prefer, hope you can see the light is still on here behind me. You can also, if you prefer, have both of them on like so. I'm just gonna turn the rear light off again and then put this thing out here on the side as we are talking about this control knob. Battery wise, there's the bottom cover here just flips off. This is held on by magnets, super nice actually. It's held on by magnets and just magnetizes to the screws that are holding this together. And that means there's no little like tab that will break off or anything like that. It just, there you go, like that, and magnets hold it on. And it has 3 AAA batteries that will power this. And this is actually one of the first things I would like to change with this, is instead of it being user replaceable batteries, I would have liked to see this be a internal battery that you can then recharge. Because this is gonna be sitting on your desk. And if you're like me, you're gonna have a phone charger at your desk anyway, where you can plug in your phone when you're sitting at your desk. I would have preferred to have a battery pack built into it and then a USB-C port on the back for charging. I talked to BenQ about it, and they said the batteries in this right now will last at normal use around 5 months, which is a long time. So it's not like you're going to be changing batteries that often. But I would still, I mean, it's sitting on your desk anyway. This is not something you take with you and move around. It's nice that it's wireless, that there's no wires in it. I can move it around my desk and less cable clutter is absolutely thumbs up. Love that. It shouldn't be a permanent cable. I would just like to have the option to plug in a USB-C port at the back, charge this up like if for some hours or a day or something like that, and then maybe have it last 1, 2, 3, 4 months, something like that, maybe 5, 6, however much power they can cram into a battery pack inside it. I think that would be a better user experience, so you don't have to go and swap out those batteries every 5 months. The other thing about it that I found annoying is this screen up here. Now you've probably seen some of the B-roll already. This is going to look dirty. There's going to be fingerprints on it because this screen is a fingerprint magnet like I've never seen anything like it. From the moment I took this out of the box and I removed the protective plastic over it, this thing has had fingerprints on it. And I've been sitting with my little, like the cloth I used to clean my glasses, sitting like trying to polish it up so it looks nice. It just seems like the moment you let go of it, it has a fingerprint on it somewhere. The screen works, I like the glossy thing. But if anything could be done to prevent it being such a magnet for fingerprints, I think that would be nice. Now, the only other thing I would like to change about this is the favorite feature. Right now, you just tap it and it goes to your favorite. And that's fine. And I love this feature. But the way I'm using this, we're going to talk about this in a second, is I actually change the settings on this depending on what use case. So depending on what I'm doing on my PC, whether I'm working or whether I'm playing games, or I have different like light settings I like to use, and I could only favorite one of them. So that means I had to just select one of them that I used most often and use that as my favorite, and then constantly have to sit and go and change it over to the other setting that I sometimes like. So something I would like to see with a thing like this would be the ability to maybe have the favorite button that you could either single press it or maybe double tap it or long press it, or long presses for setting. But if there's some way that you could have 2 or maybe 3 different favorite settings, I think that would be nice, because there is different light settings are used for different use cases, and I want to talk about that now. When I was using this, one of the first things that I thought is having light like this shine on your monitor, surely that's going to make the colors look washed out and it's going to get you a lower perceived contrast of your image on the screen. It is far from as bad as I thought. It is noticeable. I can see when you have the light on that dark scenes are a little bit harder to see details in dark scenes in a computer game, for instance, compared to when the light was off. So yes, your perceived contrast is going to be worsened when the light is on, no doubt about it. And for that reason, when I was playing games, I would often have the light running like this. lights off, rear light on, so that it would illuminate the wall behind the monitor and then reduce that eye strain that you get. But the moment I wanted to go in and do some work, say I wanted to go and read emails, read Discord, read you guys' comments underneath this video, for instance, I would have it running in my favorite mode. Whoa, I changed my favorite. Great, there we go. I would have it running like this, with both the rear light and the front light on. In a situation where you're reading, I don't know what you're doing for work, but if you have anything where it's text, where it's a high contrast things like black text, white background, or the other way around, in that situation, the light is super, super nice to have. It just, especially if you're in a poorly lit room, having that light like illuminate the desk in front of you was just a really, really nice experience, and it felt more relaxing when you sit and work like that. The eye strain was definitely lower when the light was on. So work situations, absolutely, I would have it on like this. Now this segues nicely into one of the problems that I have with the device, and that is this. Pay close attention now to the intensity of the front light here. You can probably see it down on the table, how much reflection you're seeing in the camera. I'm just gonna wake this thing up and jump over to favorite, where I'm gonna turn the rear light off. Did you see that? I have not changed the light intensity setting here. Just do it again, I'm not changing any settings, I'm not changing the control knob here. All I've done now is I turn the rear light on, and I'm gonna wake this thing up, and I'm gonna go to my favorite setting. Boom. Did you see how that got brighter? When you turn that rear light off, it's somehow the power is distributed between the rear and the front light. And that means that less power, I don't know how, I'm not an electronic engineer or anything, but when I turn the rear light off, the front light dims. And that kind of defies that whole purpose. So I have it like, this is how I like my front light to be. And then I tap the button to turn the rear light on. And then when I do that, the front light dims. And now it's too dim for me and I have to go in and change it again. So that's something that I would really, really like to see fixed, that it retains its intensity regardless of whether one or the other light is on. Now, the other problem I had with this unit here, I'm just gonna turn it off here completely because we're gonna be moving it around a bit now. The other problem I had with this thing here was it is heavy. I'm just gonna take it off the box here, there we go. It's heavy. Now, if I put this on a scale, turn that on, wait for it to 0. If I put this on a scale, it tips the scale at around 530 grams, so just over half a kilo. We'll convert that to US units somewhere here on screen. There's some heft to it, it's heavy. Now, normally that wouldn't really be an issue. I mean, this is sitting on top of your monitor, why do I care how much it weighs? Well, my monitor is on monitor arms, and monitor arms have very specific weight load limits. And I have a heavy monitor because I have one of these very color accurate monitors designed for video work. And when I put like half a kilogram of electronics on top of that monitor, it actually tipped the scale for how much that monitor arm could handle. Not by much, but just enough that I over time noticed my screen slowly sinking as the arm couldn't handle the weight. So I had to push my monitor further back in order for the arm to effectively be shorter so that the spring inside it could actually handle the weight of this. I don't know if that's going to be an issue if you have a more traditional like stand for your monitor. Obviously, if you don't have height adjustment, it's not going to be a problem. But if you have a monitor with height adjustment, I don't know if putting half a kilogram of stuff on top of your monitor is going to make the monitor lower over time, as I saw with my monitor arm. So I don't know why it's so heavy. There's no battery in it. Maybe some LEDs are heavy. I don't know, but it is heavy, and that's something I would actually prefer to see somehow lighten this unit up so that when people are using monitor arms, that it doesn't overload the arms and make them sink like what I saw with my arm. My overall verdict of this product is, it is a good product. It has a premium feel to it. And if you are suffering from eye strain if you're sitting for extended periods in front of a computer screen, consider something like this. It might actually help you. And depending on where you work, you might even be able to get your boss to pay for it if you have a work from home station. So maybe you don't even have to pay for it yourself. I don't know. I can definitely see this being a useful product. And if I can find a solution, if I can like tighten up my springs, if I can adjust those in my monitor arms, so I could have my monitor where I actually want it, I could definitely see this being something that would be sitting more permanently on top of my monitor. And I just again want to stress that the fact there was no pairing process, the setup, the ease of use, the user experience for this is flawless. There's nothing there. But I would like to know what you guys think of a product like this. Is this something that you would be interested in at all? Is this something that you maybe have considered already? Are there other things that you would like to see change in a product like this? Post them in the comment section below. Also, if it's just not your thing at all, I would like to know that as well. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.